Right now, computers across the valley finally coming back online after a massive cyber outage just last night. 911 call centers, hospitals, and businesses were all taken offline. Even digital billboards couldn't load correctly. This is exactly what Windows users across the country saw when trying to load their devices. Even gas stations were sent back in time, customers having to make those cash payments. Some of the biggest impacts were felt at airports. Our crew at Sky Harbor earlier this morning encountered these massive lines as some of the largest carriers delayed thousands of flights. The FAA issued a full ground stop for Delta, United, and other airlines facing the same issues. And right now, the impact of those delays is still being felt by travelers across the country. Dozens of flights remain delayed at Sky Harbor at this hour. 12 News journalist William Pitts is there live for us now. And Will, how often do we see disruptions of this magnitude?
Yeah, not very often at all. And thankfully, Sky Harbor, as you can see, is getting back to normal. But there are still some cancellations, probably left over from earlier today. Full ground stops don't happen often, as we said. This was a huge one. 3 major airlines stopped flying overnight. And the effects were felt in nearly every industry. One way or the other, this computer crash affected pretty much everyone. At Sky Harbor this morning, long lines and blank screens. People waiting to check in, finding their flights delayed or canceled altogether.
We were all kind of like, what do we do now?
I mean, fingers crossed that it works out, but who knows?
American, United, Delta, even Frontier and Sun Country all called for full ground stops at some point overnight. A similar story at Mesa Gateway, where planes sat empty on the tarmac.
What can we do? I mean, it's not the airline's fault.
Stephen and Carol Hall were stranded, stuck in Phoenix another day.
We just booked out of Sky Harbor for tomorrow.
The flight status board lighting up with red.
It's going to take a little bit to work through this problem. It's probably through the weekend.
The issue, a software update from a major cybersecurity contractor called CrowdStrike that went wrong. Starting around 10 last night, computers around the world started shutting down and not coming back on.
And you're talking about thousands, if not millions, computers across the globe.
Cybersecurity expert Burton Kelso says CrowdStrike rolled out a fix, but a lot of damage was already done.
I think what most businesses are doing at this point is just simply uninstalling the software and just waiting for CrowdStrike to issue an update so that they can re-download the software.
The mega crash affected almost everything. Billboards went to the dreaded blue screen of death. Some banks couldn't take deposits. Stores couldn't process cards. 911 call centers in Phoenix, Mesa, and Scottsdale were impacted, most going back to taking calls on paper and running them to radio dispatchers. Hospitals stayed open, but many had to dig out paper charts for the first time in years. State agencies, at least one ambulance company, the glitch was felt everywhere. The ground stops have since been lifted. Planes are flying again, but the effects will linger. Most systems and services are back up and running. CrowdStrike says it rolled out an automatic fix earlier today, but this wasn't just an isolated incident to the U.S. This was felt around the country with different systems all over the place and having some major impacts. We're live in Phoenix. William Pitts, 12 News.
Yeah, and the board continuing to change behind you as we speak. William, thank you for the live report. And people were understandably shocked to find out that an issue with a single company could cause such major disruptions. So let's take a look at exactly what CrowdStrike is and how a single software update led to the largest computer outage in history.